Ladies and gentlemen, crypto boys and girls, thank you for joining us on this, our 45th day of the Crypto Challenge. We are now officially 25% into our 6-month challenge, 1,500 to 250K, and to take it away is Mr. Techie.
Hello, people. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to this day of Bitcoin. It has been a bloody interesting day, I have to tell you guys. It has been so interesting. Thank you very much, Romeo, for the introduction. Thank you to Markko for the graphics. Boy, has it been an interesting day. Let's do our thing. We're not, again, you guys know, we're not expecting anything. What are we? 993.8. Wee, 993.8. What did we make? We lost $2. 993.8. We got to take back the Big Mac from yesterday, guys. We can't hold on to it. Let's put that aside now. Frankly, that there is getting tiring. Being frank with you guys now. This shit here, getting tiring. Okay. What's been going on? Okay, I haven't updated the chart today because I haven't been online for the majority of the day. I made I made the odd trade here and there, and that's essentially what has been happening on my side. So I haven't actually kind of been a typical. I mean, look at this, typical. Look, wait, I gotta really zoom into this, guys, just so you can see for dramatic effect. We start the damn stream, and Bitcoin decides to do something. Just waited, just literally waited. I even made sure. I made sure we didn't start at exactly 0:00. I wanted to wait a few minutes and see if Bitcoin was going to do something, but no, it didn't. I don't know what I pressed there. Oops. Ooh, pressing spacebar does something. Oh, it goes through your list of coins. Let's go back to damn it, no BTC. BTC, USDT. On Binance, I think, is where we were charting this. If I am not mistaken. Apparently not. No, we were doing it on Bitfinex. I remember now. Bitfinex. Bitcoin. You disappoint me, son. You disappoint me severely. Welcome, guys, to day 40 something of what is really starting to feel a little bit interesting. What is happening? Well, today started off okay. Today wasn't too bad. I don't even know what the date is today. It's been that crazy. Today's the 18th.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to all you people out there who are celebrating St. Paddy's Day. So where did we end the stream? Wow, we ended it quite a while ago, huh? Did we really end it that far away? Is that one today?
You're still going on there.
Holy mother. There we go. Woof. This doesn't seem right. But it must be right. Anyway, so this is what happened since the stream. We broke down out of this mega channel here that we had corrected down to a corrected channel, I believe. Yes, we did. We went sideways for a long time. We had a manipulated pump, which could have been counteracted by the dump that came earlier. And then we started to proceed with our downfall. Sorry, Bitcoin's downfall. Let's just get rid of all the indicators for a second, and then we can zoom in a little bit better, and we can get a rough idea of what has been going on. So, obviously, people first of all drew a line like this, and then realized, okay, that's not actually our channel. And then people drew a line like this, and then BTC broke out of that channel. And if we come down from, let's say, from this wick here, we can come like that, and we can draw another line up. And then it's like, well, this isn't technically quite a channel. Yes, we did come down once, hovered along here, came back up and broke. Yeah, not really a channel. So on the grander scheme of things, there was no valid channel that could kind of technically really be drawn, unless you kind of went up to something like the 1 hour. You know, this here is the 1 hour, and then you can kind of draw a little bit of a channel here, but again, not really that accurate. Not enough bounces within the channel for me to call it technically really a channel, even though it can still apply. If you go back to an even longer time period, you can technically start to draw a channel from here down to here. We don't want to cross over there, okay? And then you can take whichever other yellow line that you have on your screen, and you can come up to there and here. Now, let's go back to the here and now. Let's be in the present. Let's all breathe and relax and unwind. What is our target? Our target still exists. We are still looking at heading down. We did have some good downward momentum for quite a while until we had this pump here, which is approximately 2 hours ago, I believe it started. Thank you for refreshing. I didn't ask it to refresh, it just refreshed itself. So this is what Bitcoin is doing. A lot of people still absolutely bearish on it. Some people are completely undecided. They are neutral, and a handful of people are actually bullish on Bitcoin. The interesting point, this was the interesting point. The interesting point was that we reached down here. This is a 15-minute chart. Okay, so we reached down here, and 77.66. This is where we reached, and you can see that we came down, retraced, next candle, retraced a little bit higher, came down again, wicked through, i.e. the wick just made it through, retraced. Next candle, tried to break down, retraced, next candle, touch the line, next candle, break that. You can see how many times we tried to peek through this here. We even came to the point of candles, of a candle closing directly at the line. And then we just gave up and we bounced up. What does this say to me? Anytime you come down and you test a level of support like this and you give up, or Bitcoin gives up and then bounces back up, generally this here should technically result in, and the reason why I'm putting a lot of like disclaimers on this is because right now Bitcoin is a little bit abnormal. Let's just say that. Bitcoin a little bit abnormal. But anytime you come down to a position like that, you should end up bouncing back up and coming back down for another attempt, and potentially having either a double bottom or breaking through on your second try. We have spoken about double bottoms, triple bottoms, quadruple bottoms, and quintuple bottoms before. But the way that Bitcoin has been going today, we're still expecting a drop. But we genuinely are. And personally, for me, right now, I am expecting some. Am I expecting 3K? No, I am not. Am I expecting 6K? No, I am not. Am I expecting 7K? No, I am not. What am I actually expecting? I don't know. Being completely frank and honest with you guys, I don't know. Because the way that Bitcoin has been behaving, I am actually learning to expect nothing and just appreciate the shit that we have, to be completely frank with you guys. It's been a little bit of a tiring day. Sitting here, I still haven't fully recovered. I've still got that dwindling sensation in the back of my head. The dwindling, not dwindling, that tingling sensation all over my head technically. So I haven't been here as much as I would have liked to be, and as a result, guys, we are still expected to go down. We are definitely expected to go down. In my opinion, we shall continue to go down. It's just a case of just now waiting. You know, we made some beautiful progress towards reaching our down. You know, over the space of kind of 7 hours, we dropped a nice amount, quite a decent amount. However, then in the short space of 1 hour, we kind of regained half of what we went down. So, someone telling me, look at the daily and make some calls. Hold on, daily. Okay, there's the daily. And then where's my phone? Here's my phone. And we're going to call the Bitcoin hotline. I'm not going to make calls on the daily. It's a techie joke. I know a lot of you are probably right now going, oh my god, that's so lame. Well, deal with it. I'm sorry. I'm not here to entertain you. It's easier to see a pattern. I'm sorry, okay? If you want to kind of draw a pattern, I don't even know where all these lines are coming from. If you want to draw a pattern on Bitcoin on the daily, even then, even on the daily, what you can do is you can come here. You guys know how to do this. We've spoken about this. You can come and you can draw a channel. Okay? You can draw a channel. Any channel you want. Okay? You can draw various channels of various widths. Some people are saying that there is a zoop. Some people are drawing it like this. Okay? So it's not actually technically a channel. It is a wedge that's happening. Yeah, they are the lines of the smaller scale cafe. I was just you know, yeah. The thing is, you got to understand, okay? You could have come here and you could have drawn the same lines and been like, oh yeah, look, yeah, Bitcoin's gonna, oh yeah, it's just falling, it's just free falling. You know, it's just, ooh, look at this, holy shit, it's a perfect channel, we're going down. And you could have also come back to this period here. And here is even more like almost perfectly textbook. You know, you could just take a channel from here to here and you could say, yeah, look, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, guys, we are falling. That's it, we are going. The issue is, okay, the issue is tea and coffee. I do appreciate the input that can give a good idea of which way we're going. However, on these larger time scales, quite often you can have your bounce, and because you're following this larger pattern, you assume that you will still stay within this channel. And then you have this, and then the next day you wake up and the candle opens. The candle will open here and you'll be like, yeah, this candle's going to come back down, it's fine. And the candle goes up all day. And you're still like, ah, it can still come down. And then it comes up, and as you see here, there's a nice wick, and then it starts to retrace. You're like, yep, there we go, back down into there. And so looking at it on the larger time frames is okay for looking at, okay, did we bounce? But as a historical fact, not looking at it as this point in time, did we bounce? So, you know, for example, this candle here technically went up $600, $700, okay? And it went up out of the channel. And so if we apply that to here, if we have, right now, our candle's down here, okay? Our daily is down here. Okay, our daily is down here. And so if the candle closes here and the next day it opens up and closes up here, does that actually provide us with confirmation or not? I know generally on the longer term, it does look like we are still continuing to go down. However, you gotta really watch out for these. You can check it for the overall general. I mean, you could even come back and say, and there are some people just saying this, you know, like, yep, we are definitely still going down, guys. Like, look at this. Okay, well, let's take from there, so we're not going too greedy. Whatever, we can take from anywhere. We are definite, guys. We're going down. Like, but it's a case of discovering where the break may potentially be, and then actually taking advantage of that opportunity. Because if you just focus on the longer term, it's fine, but then don't come throughout the day and keep on checking on the price of Bitcoin. You just want to check it at the end of the day once before you go to bed or when you wake up, and then that there should be your bread and butter, and that's how you live your trading life. But for the shorter time frame, I think it is actually important to focus on the smaller time frames. I'm not going to say go less than 15 minutes. Bollocks. I'm not going to say go less than 15 minutes, okay, but you can look at the hourly. All right, the hourly can give you a very good indication of where we are headed for at least the next portion of the day. The same thing on the 15 minutes. You look at the 15 minutes to discover where we're going for the next few hours. You look at the 3 minutes to discover where were we going for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and this is generally how I trade. I always take my time frames are 3 minutes, and I look at that to tell me how we're going to go in the next few 15-minute candles. I look at the 15-minute candles to tell me how we're going to go for the next few hours, and then just 1 second here. Yeah. Okay, that can go. I was just watching this here drop down. I decided to check something else. This here is a corrective wave. This here, it's just pure correction. The more I'm looking at how Bitcoin is behaving these last few days, the more I am becoming definitely a bigger fan of the corrective wave theory, without a shadow of a doubt. It's almost too easy. Enter there. Okay. Come here. Oof. Wow. Okay. Yep. Okay. Just monitor this now. Come here. And then add there. Sorry guys, I'm just doing something off of screen. I hope you all don't mind. Delete. Yes. I can sing for you while you're waiting if you want, but maybe that will maybe it's easier on you to actually listen to Bitcoin, to watch Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, this looking at the longer time frame is okay, but in order to discover where we break, you got to look at the shorter time frame, and yes, that is why. So whenever I check 3 minutes. Okay, we could do this here. I do 3 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes, i.e. 1 hour, and then I go straight to 240, i.e. 4 hours, and then I go to 480, i.e. 8 hours, and then that gives me enough of an indication of where we should close for the day, because if each one of these candles is 8 hours, there's 24 hours in a day, there's 3 of these candles equals 1 day, and that is essentially how we go. Sing Lord of the Rings intro to get into the mood. I don't know the Lord of the Rings intro. I do apologize. I mean, I feel G20 should be more bullish than bearish, but it would be some FUD really damage BCC. I know a lot of people are expecting the G20 stuff to come out and wreck everything, and I'll be frank with you guys. I'm expecting it to have some sort of effect anytime they discuss cryptocurrency. However, I am not in the group of people who are saying that it's all just going to be shit. I'm actually on the other side. I'm on the other side of saying, you know what, there's potentially some good stuff that's going to come out from the G20. I think historically people have always put into their mind that that anytime governments discuss crypto, it's bad news. And it's not always the case. It's not always the case that anytime that a government or regulators or whoever discuss crypto, that it ends up being bad news. Quite often recently, we've been finding a lot of good support for it. And we've been finding a lot of great, discussions happening. So I don't know. I'm not quite really. I'm not quite afraid of it, to be honest. I'm actually looking forward to what comes out of there. I think, I I think we'll have to see. We'll just have to see. And guys, if you focus on it being bad and you're just looking for the negativity, you may fail to see the good stuff that comes out of it. And then as a result, you may fail to realize some opportunities that come up. So someone could say something which could be perceived as good and you fail to see it because you're only waiting and listening for the bad. And as a result, then you miss a nice pump. And that's basically what it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of pumps and dumps. You know, and we're going to have to work through them and build ourselves up and get through them and everything. Right. This has been an interesting day. It genuinely has. So, what has been happening today in the world of Bitcoin? The following has been happening. If you guys remember corrective wave theory, I think would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, apply to here. Okay, corrective wave theory here, corrective wave theory here, corrective wave theory. Okay, and I'm starting to notice patterns that happen within corrective wave theory, and we'll talk a little bit more about corrective wave theory, you know, a little bit later on. Tea and Coffee saying, I think the G20 in late 2018 will be an issue, not this one. No point going nuts over 320 billion market cap. Well, potentially. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all goes. You know, let's just wait and see. Let's see what they say. Let's see what they talk about. I actually think it'll be very interesting because I'm actually expecting a lot of positivity to come out of it. So far, the US, probably previously one of the hardest regulators, etc., has come out with some good positive sides for the for crypto recently. So I'm expecting the G20 summit to also come out with at least some good discussions, some good ideas thrown about. There's not going to be anything solid. There's not going to be anything hard. I don't think I'm going to come out and say, oh yes, we have to ban cryptocurrencies because of... No, there may just be some highlighting some of the issues that have happened in the cryptocurrency markets, and as a result they may discuss some possible ideas for regulation or mitigation of the issues. And that's it. By the way, corrective wave is a term used in Elliott wave theory already. Damn. Really? Shit. Why are you alone on the stream today? Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. No, I'm not lonely. Grizz is popping in and out. He's going and listening to another stream at the same time. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are right now listening to something else at the same time. Frankly, I would rather be listening to some music or something at the same time as well. But no, I'm kidding. I love being here with you guys. So, what are we going to talk about today? I promised you guys a lesson, and I haven't. Yesterday I was really unwell. Today I'm kind of recovering, not quite 100% yet. But if the market is going to continue like this, guys, there's no point. There is no point in sitting watching paint dry. Okay? It's the middle of bloody winter. The paint's going to take forever to dry. Okay? Don't know if you've never learned that in decorating school, and if you haven't yet been to decorating school, what are you doing trading crypto? Everything you know about crypto was taught in decorating school. Paint will take a long time to dry in winter when the weather is cold. So, what are we going to do to speed up the paint drying? Today, guys, I am going to pass on to you. And I was waiting for the people who get bored and stuff to, you know, kind of, they could go. Is it cold where I am? Today it was, yes. Yesterday there was snow again, for some unknown reason. Today, guys, we are going to talk about something that we may potentially start to do. If this is in preparation. It's not to be applied right now, but this is in preparation. What are we preparing for? We are preparing for the possibility, okay, that we may potentially be in this market for a short while longer, okay? Someone's saying it's drying. It's summer here, drying pretty quick. Yeah, you Kiwis with all your beautiful weather. Sound of your PC fans is also good, techie. Oh, you can hear them? Somebody said they can't hear them. Damn it. I will have to work on a solution for that. I do apologize, Pixel Puncher. And Grizz is back. Welcome back, Grizz. Alright. I'm expecting to be a millionaire by the end of 2018. The guy from AMTV says it will happen. From AMTV? Oh, God. If he's on AMTV, he doesn't know what he's talking about, guys. Yeah. Let's just put it like that. Yep. Beautiful. Absolutely bloody beautiful. Good evening, Jeff. Jeff is here.
Good evening, Nick. Good evening.
How are you doing?
Great. And yourself?
I am doing spectacular. Absolutely amazing. All right. Maybe my speakers are shit. Why is Dog Enforcer saying maybe his speakers are shit? I don't know. No, the fan on my laptop is whirling away quite a lot. You know, so yeah, we gotta see what's happening with that. Let me plug in the other headphone, and then I can really. Yes, there is definitely the of a fan. Pixel Puncher saying, did you read my PM, Techie? I know it's a lot, but I had to say it. I did read it. I didn't get a chance to respond to it because I was away for a few hours before the stream, and then I came back, and then shit was happening with BTC. So I do apologize for that. Right. What are we going to talk about today? Okay, this is a lesson. All right, and this is a lesson where you guys got to do some of the homework. Okay. And we talk about the rest of the stuff on stream. Today we are going to be talking about the squiggly worm that has been on my chart for a while. Okay, what is the squiggly worm? The squiggly worm is a Bollinger Band. What's all these extra links open here? That is called the Bollinger Band. Oops, let's close this. Let's close that and that. Shit. Let's not close that one. Let's reopen that one. Bring it back to the beginning again. Okay, squiggly worm. This here is called the Bollinger Band. What is the Bollinger Band and how is it used and why the hell are we talking about it? Okay, this is my plan as follows. If, it's a big if we continue like this for a few more days, we are going to start scalping. Okay, what is scalping? Scalping is a technique used in trading generally overall. You guys know what swinging is. Swinging is where you buy an asset, you leave it for a while, it gains, and you sell it. Scalping is used for on a much shorter time frame, i.e. the gains that you get are significantly lower, and at the same time the trades happen a lot more frequently and a lot more often. Now we need to be a little bit careful because obviously with Bitcoin we can just have a look right now on Bitcoin, and if you want to scalp Bitcoin, guys, okay, scalping Bitcoin, not really advisable, because say you entered here and you went up to there, it's 1.5-ish%. Okay, you're going to lose 0.05% of that to the fees when you buy and again when you sell. So technically you're losing 0.1%. And so you need to understand that you're literally doing this for tiny amounts of profit. And if you didn't catch the bottom of the wick and you didn't catch the top of the wick, you're only kind of doing it for 1% gain. Okay, so what is scalping? How do you do it? And where does Bollinger Band come into this? The Bollinger Band is essentially you guys got to read this and you got to watch this video. I do not have permission. What? Why don't I have permission? Apparently I don't have permission. If you guys, let's restart this. There's a nice video here. I think they've got a video for this. Yeah, they do. So the Bollinger Bands are made by some dude called John Bollinger. You can check him out there. And essentially, you can think of it as a measurement of volatility within a market. Okay. It has 3 core parts. You have the upper band, this line here. You have the lower band, this line here. And excuse me while I drink a bit of water because I'm getting that dry mouth feeling. Fresh. And then you have, let me switch off everything else here so that then we can see it clearly. I can see clearly now. The Bollinger Band is visible. Hide all drawing together. So there we go. And then you have the Bollinger Band moving average. Okay, so this line here is the moving average. We've spoken about what moving average is. Upper band, lower band. Okay. Now, the moving average is based on, I believe it's 21 days. Let's see if they say it here. I do believe it is 21 or 21. 21 data point essentially. Now, the Bollinger Band has the primary usage of the Bollinger Band is what is called the squeeze. And the squeeze is these bands here measure the volatility within the market, okay? Within the candles, essentially. So as you can see here, the candles are moving a little bit frantically, and so the band is wider. But then as the candles get smaller and smaller, the band gets tighter and tighter. And this here is called the squeeze. And in fact, you could potentially go to historical points, nothing in the last kind of 2 months. So let's go to around, I don't know, January sometime. Just a random date in January, where things were potentially a little bit better. And let's choose a point. Okay, we can see here that the band got really tight around here. So it's quite large, moving up and down, got tight, expanded a bit. And then you've got these big bulges, these giant bulges here. Now remember, the band is a reflection of the volatility within the market, i.e. how much things are moving up and down. As a result, when something moves up really quickly, the Bollinger Band will expand in the direction of the movement. And at a 90-degree angle to the movement, it will also expand sideways, okay? So it won't just go increase up and down, otherwise then you just end up with a giant balloon. It expands with the direction it's going and expands opposite, perpendicular, yes, perpendicular to the direction it's going, and expands in width. And then of course, as it comes to the top, then it starts to contract again because the volatility has reduced, and rinse and repeat. How do we use this? And how do you use it in scalping? First of all, we would go to the 3-minute chart. Why the 3-minute techie? Because when you're scalping, you're in and out in a very, very short amount of time, okay? You want to be in and out in a fairly short amount of time. What do you need in order to be able to scalp? You need the following skills. You need to understand RSI. You need to understand MACD. You need to understand the very basic shapes to be drawn, or at least very basically the trend lines that you can draw within a chart. Those are the core essential skills that without them, there's no point of even looking at scalping, okay? Because if you think, oh yeah, it's great, the bands are squeezing, blah, 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 and your RSI is all the way down here, and you don't have any lines, and you're like, I don't know where it's going to go, but I think it's going to go up because moon, and then you buy in. You know, it's like you're flying blind, okay? So, scalping, that is what we are going to be doing. A very beautiful thing with the Bollinger Band right now. I'm going to show you guys, okay? And we're going to be including scalping with the 55 moving average, 55 exponential moving average. And I will explain to you guys why we'll be using both. But let's just focus right now on one small section of the chart, which is here. I'm going to take this part here. So I'm going to click and I'm going to zoom in right there. Okay. Right. It's a bit too much. Bit too much zoom. Okay. So, is everyone following along? I hope everyone's following along right now. Thank you, Kefa, for posting the link to what scalping is. Oh, yeah, what the Bollinger Band is. Thank you very much. Now, we are on the 3 minute. That is correct. And why am I using the 3 minute and not something else? Because you could go up to the 15 minute. However, when you're on the 15 minute and you're trying to scalp, your trades take a lot longer, and you can get better profits. You can get a lot of things, but when a trade takes a lot longer, there's a lot of opportunity for the market to change direction within that time and to move away from your expected destination. Okay, personally, and you guys can experiment however you wish. Personally, for me, I prefer to do scalping with the 3 minute, maybe possibly the 5 minute, but always at the same time, I have my eyes on the 15 minute, i.e. you want to have a split like this, where you can come here, have this guy on the 15 minute, and then you have the 3 minute on the side. Why is it essential to have both? You will be trading off of the 3 minute, but you will be confirming your buys and sells based on the 15 minute. Because if the 3 minute tells you we're going down, but the 5 minute is saying we're going up, it means we could only maybe dip down. Let's take an example. Dip down a little bit here. So say you bought at the bottom here. Okay. Look at how the RSI is. The RSI is it was okay. It was quite low. So then you bought in and it went up. And you saw it come to here. And you were like, ah, great. Okay, I'm going to sell now. You could potentially sell up here. And you come out with a nice little profit in the space of 10 minutes, you've got 0.73. It's a little bit lower than we want, but you've got 0.73. Now, if you take the same point here, which is 2118, and we have it here, 2118. Okay, now if you have a look here, and you can see how my crosshair is synced across both screens. Okay, so as I'm moving here, the crosshairs are moving on this part as well. You will be here, and you'll be looking at this point, and you'll look at your RSI, and you'll go, yep, okay, I think it's going to go back down, I'm going to sell. However, you look at your screen and you realize, actually, RSI is very low over here. We are quite low. So let me stick it out for a couple more candles, okay, and see what happens. You could sell up here and buy back here when you confirm that it's still low, okay, and then you can ride this whole section up and sell up here, sell at the top, sell wherever you want. On the opposite side, I think this part, yep, this is this part here. Let me bring it that way a little bit more. Here would be a very nice place because you could buy down here, sell up here, wait for it to come down, buy down here, sell up here. And if you guys follow down here, this is why I've got the crosshairs on. There's the peak, and you can see a peak on the RSI. There's the dip, and you can see a dip on the RSI. There's a peak, there's a peak, there's a dip, peak, dip, peak, dip, dip, peak, dip. Okay? You guys get the story now. Does that mean then that we want all of our trades to only take 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes? No. Sometimes you have a bit of a beautiful golden opportunity. And if the RSI is stuck all the way down here, you could potentially buy here. Okay? And you ride it up and you follow it up till a point whereby RSI starts to indicate that you are now getting overbought. I.e. not quite here. There could be another one over here. Now, you could buy here. It goes up, comes back down close to your buy. Goes up, comes back down close to your buy. Different strategies, different techniques. We're going to go through them. Okay, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of them. Not in today's stream, but we're going to discuss the pros and cons of them. And we're going to discuss how you can utilize this strategy to keep on going through and actually riding up from the tops to the bottoms and getting in and out in a nice amount of time. Now, why do we have the Bollinger Band then? If we can see this, why do we have the Bollinger Band? Why don't we just look at the chart and just be like, yeah, hey, there, let's just do it. Okay, very simple. MACD is a historic indicator. Okay, it tells you what actually happened. It doesn't say to you exactly what's happening right now. It's based off of historical data points. RSI is a more up-to-date indicator. Bollinger Band is considered, I believe it's considered closer to RSI than it is to MACD. All right, and let's choose a nice example here. I want to choose a good example. I saw a beautiful example earlier and I was like, I gotta use that in the stream later. I don't actually like Bollinger Band on Bitfinex, but we can use it. So there is the moving average within the Bollinger Band. This moving average is a level of support and resistance. What does it mean when it's a level of support and resistance? If you're below it, it's resistance. If you're above it, it's support. And how can we see that play out? We came down here, we broke through the Bollinger Band moving average, and we bounced off of the band, the edge, the lower band of the Bollinger Band. Now, when you bounce off of the lower edge of the Bollinger Band, you have only one direction to go, which is up. But you're going to be facing some resistance, and that resistance is always pre-made for you, okay, in the form of the Bollinger Band moving average. What does that mean? That means that if you come down and you touch the Bollinger Band, and you don't touch it too aggressively, you touch it relatively mildly, okay, that there is potentially a good opportunity to buy, and up here is potentially a good opportunity to sell. As you guys can see, it hit the bottom of the Bollinger Band, it went up, it found its resistance, came back down again, hit the Bollinger Band, went up, found its resistance, came back down, hovering around the resistance till it finally broke through. Came up and hit the upper Bollinger Band, kind of hovered around it for a bit, and then curved down, and then whee, boop. And as you can see here, the band really squeezed, okay? The band squeezed quite a lot here because there wasn't so much movement in these candles here, and then we had a major move. The same thing here. Let's see if, yeah, we can use this one here as a good, I don't even know what time frame, I don't even know where we are in the chart. This could be a couple of days ago. We broke above the Bollinger Band, support, came back down again, support, 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 finally break through. And then it was resistance, 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 resistance. You can see how many times here we tried to break through, and by the time we started to break through here, the Bollinger Band started to tighten up, and in fact we got a nice squeeze. This squeeze essentially caused a little bit more volatility to happen, and we started to test the bottom of the Bollinger Band. No, you guys can see the story panning out for yourselves. I can sit here all day explaining this, okay? And then we broke through the Bollinger Band, come back down again, test it for support, support, underneath, resistance, resistance, on top, support, 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 breakdown, tried to break, not happening, support, resistance, resistance, support, support, and there we go. We're going to go through in a lot more detail. Okay, I just wanted to introduce this to you guys, but definitely you need to go and you need to check out at least this page, and you need to watch this video. What is a Bollinger Band? Investopedia.com/terms/b/bollingerbands.asp. Okay, you go and you check it out there, and then bollocks. I just got an alert going off in my ear, which is telling me, where are we going, my dear? For indeed, I always fear that the end of Bitcoin is not so near. Okay, let me just set another quick alert here for Bitcoin. Okay, and before I forget, phone on silent. Okay, so this is Kefa saying mark it with a colored box next time so you can find it back. Yep, but yeah, it's on a different chart version, on a different thing, not even on Bitfinex. So I should actually write them down on a piece of paper, but yeah. So guys, that is what we're going to be talking about soon. And if the market continues as it is, we're going to start scalping, because frankly, sitting there just being in tether all day is a little bit of a pain in the ass. And if you manage to do 10 or 15 scalps of 0.5% each, okay, it doesn't add up to 10%. If you do 10 scalps of 1%, it does not add up to 10%. It still adds up to something, okay, and then we can at least make money while we're sitting here in this insanity, to be completely frank. So yeah, that's your homework, guys, and we're going to talk a little bit more, and I'm going to talk about how to use it between the 15-minute and the 3-minute, and then we're going to talk about how to utilize it with the 55 moving average, which is also another layer of it's not on here, which is also another layer of support and resistance, and what it means when we're above and what it means when we're below, and you know what you can do when you get the squeeze between the 55 EMA and the BB EMA, the Bollinger Band, sorry, the Bollinger Band moving average. I don't believe it's exponential, and so you can see here we're in between the two, and what actually happens and where the market could potentially go. You got to understand something with scalping. You're not always going to have 100% successful trades. You could have 15 great and 5 bad. You could have 10 great and 10 bad. You can have you know, 5 epic ones and 15 terrible ones. So you know, we'll just see. We'll just see what will happen. Yep, Kafa saying 1% to the power of 10 does actually indeed equal 9 point something percent, isn't it? Huh. Interesting. Jerome saying, I just started crypto 3 weeks ago with $600. Now I have 300. Ooh, it's painful. I know the pain. I genuinely do know the pain. And yeah, it's a big pain, but it's a lesson to be learned. You know, it's definitely, there's a lot of lessons to be learned right now, and there's a lot of things that we can do. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because if the market is going to continue to be bearish for a while, or at least flip between bearish and neutral, okay, i.e. not going to bullish on the longer term, we will have to work out other ways of making money. Because as I'm sure quite a lot of you have realized recently, although a lot of coins have been going up, it's very easy for Bitcoin to come and wipe everything away. And if you are in the coin and it goes up and you stay in, then Bitcoin can easily come and wipe it away. And personally, for me, I'm not watching any altcoins, genuinely. Okay, whether it's Walton, whether it's Ion, whether it's Wabi, whether it's any of the coins that I really love, I am not watching them. The only coin I am watching right now is Bitcoin. Because I know if I see a pattern on one of those coins, I'm going to think I'm going to go into it. And then out of nowhere, Bitcoin's either going to pump or it's going to dump. And if I don't have my eye on Bitcoin at the time that happens, then I could potentially end up leaving with a significant loss. And if you are into accumulation, i.e. you are just buying the coins, you don't care about the value, you don't care if it goes down by 15-20% in the next few days, then by all means accumulate your coins, but just realize we could remain in a bear market for quite a while, and the way that this drop has been dragged out is not looking too good. Okay, it is not looking too healthy. A lot of people have lost I'm not going to say faith, but a lot of people have really started to lose patience, and a lot of people are really now saying, you know what, I got to reconsider. I genuinely got to reconsider what is happening. And personally for me, I'm a full-time trader. This is how I make my income. And to have kind of, you know, really stressful days where one day you could make quite a bit of money and the next day you genuinely lose the gains of that day and the day before, which has happened. Hello today. You know, it's you got to reevaluate. You genuinely got to reevaluate and see whether this is something that you have the patience and the time of day and the stress that comes with it to deal with, because it can be quite an emotional roller coaster. Any trader who's been doing it for a long while knows about the emotional ups and downs, the emotional roller coaster that trading can give you. You know, you could have an amazing week followed by a shit month. Or you can have an amazing month followed by one shit week. Okay, and at the end of the day, your performance dictates whether you actually continue or not. So yeah, that's what's happening. 18-year-old boys telling Tron will hit the moon end of March. Let the 18-year-old boys go and say Tron will hit the moon at the end of March, and then let them go and do whatever 18-year-old boys do. We used to have a saying, young, dumb, and full of something. Jerome saying 82 coins being delisted from exchange Bittrex because of low liquidity. Bittrex cited rampant fraud as the reason for removal. Unfortunately for investors, 28 of the 82 coins have broken withdrawal. Ooh. Wow, okay. That's a bit of a pain in the ass. Way to screw your investors, really. Stupido. Stupido. Yes, that was actually the correct answer to that, Mr. Yeah, well, I mean, your name says it, so, you know, I'm not going to repeat it. Okay, guys, questions. I'm going to open the floor to questions now. We don't have much left on the stream, so please be quick, please be smooth. Yeah, and do. Come on, questions. If you got a question on YouTube, put a capital letter Q. If you are on the Discord, please tag me. Let's see. Kefir was saying something. My main issue is it's much less fun for folks still learning, myself included, because you can just get shot in the leg by BTC more often, more easily, so people getting tired out. Yeah. It is really, really tough. I have been playing it super, what would you say, super cautiously for the challenge, guys. The market is very volatile, and I take the responsibility seriously. Okay, I genuinely do. I actually care about you guys. I care about whether you make money. I care about whether you lose money. I care about your mental health. I care about your physical health. I genuinely care about you guys. And that is maybe something that differs me potentially from a lot of other people. I am not going out there and saying, yeah, there have been amazing patterns and things for people to buy in to, whether it's alts or coins. But I know that there is a higher risk of losing money. And so for everybody, I would rather that we take the safer step. And if you see an opportunity, then go ahead. If you want to check up on the opportunity with me, send me a message and I will go through and I will check it, and I can check the TA and we can see whatever's going on and we can talk about it and we can discuss it. But overall, I know that there are people who may go into the trade and may not be there on their phones for the next 2 hours or something. And I would rather, I don't know, I'm taking the safer place than taking the more dangerous route. Because at the end of the day, if you guys lose money, okay, I'm going to say this, if you guys lose money because we said, oh yeah, there's a great opportunity, let's buy into this. Yeah, I know it's your money and I know that you're responsible for it, and I know that, it's at the end of the day, do your own research and it's all your own damn decision and everything. But you didn't come here to just kind of be thrown a bone. Do you know what I mean? You didn't come here just to receive a call. Like, oh yeah, go buy this. Oh yeah, go do that. Oh yeah, come buy this. Oh yeah, come do that. And so in a way, I kind of feel a little bit of responsibility. If someone buys into a coin based on what we say and then ends up losing money, I do feel responsibility. And so I'm just trying to avoid that. I'm trying to mitigate the risks. I'm trying to do everything, which is why we're currently tethered up and we are just at this level. But as I said, going to potentially introduce you guys to scalping. We will do a couple of live scalping sessions. Okay, we'll do one potentially for Europe and then one for the US time zones, so that then everyone can kind of get some dedicated focus and attention. I may also invite in some other people who are scalpers by nature. Okay, and then we can also learn from them and pick up some hints and tricks and tips, you know, and then we can kind of at least make, even if it's just a few dollars a day, even if it's just a few dollars a day, guys, but at least it's some progress. At least we're moving in a direction and we're not sat there watching the paint dry. Because every time it looks like the paint's about to dry, someone goes and slaps on a new damn layer, and you're like, oh man, the old layer didn't even dry yet. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get out of all of this. How low do you think Ada will go? I don't know. You gotta ask it to do the limbo, and that's it. I have no idea. I really am sorry. 5 minutes to end of daily. Which way we headed? Let's wait and see. We need live subtitles. Live subtitles? Wow. Would your Bollinger Band technique suggest we break down here? Right now on the 15-minute, we are testing the Bollinger Band for both support and resistance. This is the level that we are at. However, we are below the 55 EMA. So this here is our next resistance level. What is below us is that then we have the lower Bollinger Band, which is currently 140, 150 dollars below. This is on the 15-minute. Okay. If you come and you look at the 3-minute now, we can see that we are actually, in fact, coming up and testing the Bollinger Band as resistance. Okay. And what do we have below us as support? We have 78.02, i.e. $50. And judging by how we have come through and we have tested it and tried to break up and break through the Bollinger Band and failed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles now, more likely we'll go down. How far down? It is quite likely that we would actually potentially bounce off of the lower Bollinger Band. As you can see now, the Bollinger Band has changed because we started a new candle. So our new support is at 78.10. I would say we will come down, touch the Bollinger Band, or come within $5 of the Bollinger Band. RSI will become oversold. We will potentially then have a little bounce, taking us back up a little bit higher, potentially. So we could go down, touch that, come back up, touch the Bollinger Band, moving average yet again. And then if we don't break through, then potentially have a nice breakdown. Okay. And MACD at the moment, I'm just ignoring MACD. I'm sorry. But yeah. So since we have been above the line testing support, I already read that. How low do you think Ada would go? So if we can't make a call, how can we scalp? Make a call, techie. Let's watch it. No trades. Oh, well, I just said. I guess I just spoke about what happened there. I have FOMO syndrome, I think. Yep, FOMO syndrome is a big one. Ferron Kara saying stop losses for scalping. Yes and no. You put a stop loss for scalping if the band is tightening, then you can put a stop loss just to protect your ass. And what do I mean by protect your ass? I mean if the Bollinger Band suddenly, if we decide to break from the Bollinger Band, i.e. we decide to do the squeeze and then we have a breakout, then the stop loss will be able to catch you before you go crying, before you're in pain, basically, essentially, before you wipe out the gains of the day. That is what the Bollinger Band will do for you, very nicely and very comfortably. So let's watch. We can watch this. I mean, this is only the 3-minute candles, so we can watch them develop and see. We've already come down. We can zoom in quite a bit, and you guys can see here that we already came down to within $5. There we go. So the Bollinger Band is at 710. And here's 713. So we could come down, maybe perhaps touch it again in the next minute or so, or come close to it. And then I'm expecting the next candle to potentially come a little bit closer and then start to retrace back upwards. Because we're not really in a squeeze right now. We don't have much of a squeeze. We had quite a bit of a downward momentum recently, so that expanded the Bollinger Band quite a bit. And we're coming into the contracting phase. If we move this here, we're coming into the contracting phase now. So this should provide a nice little kind of boop, bounce. Better keep... Oh no, Kefa, come on. You can't delete your message. I was just about to read that. Okay, so let's watch this pan out. I don't see any other questions, guys. If you have any other questions, capital letter Q on YouTube, tag me on the Discord server, and then we can see, and then we can get on with it. And here's our new one, and the new one is currently coming down and just wicking or just testing the Bollinger Band again. Okay, the RSI is coming down, not quite at oversold level, but it is coming down towards oversold. Generally with Bollinger Band, when you come down to test the line, you don't often go too oversold unless you break through the band. So if we come to a period here, you know, we're actually quite high up, and so you would need to adapt to change your range of the RSI to just focus on this upper section here, and then you can get a better idea. Let's come to this area here, for example. So here we don't quite come down too deep, we don't quite break below the 30 mark on the RSI. And if I click this now, and we can go and check it out, again we are coming down, we are just wicking the Bollinger Band. Doesn't look like we have that much momentum. Let me switch on the volume indicator. Volume is quite low. This is another thing we're going to talk about, how to use the volume when you are scalping to give you a better idea. However, what we can see here, which is very interesting, is that we were hovering on the Bollinger Band moving average, and then we actually broke down below it. And as you can see, guys, look here, the candles turned green, and now we're going up. Okay, and we may potentially do this, just kind of hover around here for the next short while, and then the next candle should potentially show us moving upwards, moving back up, or could also come down and retest. Sometimes we like to test, you know, test, retest, and retest. You know, it's kind of like the DMV sometimes. I don't know what happens at the DMV actually. I'm not in the US. Pixel Puncher saying, a bit unrelated, but what mic are you using? He goes deep on those. I go deep. Yeah. What mic am I using? I am using the what is this called? Hold on. Let me go around this side. I think it's called. No, I know exactly what it's called. It's called the Rode NT USB. I'm a big fan of Rode. Yeah, I am a big fan of Rode. So, Sparky Mark will know them. The Rode is an Aussie company, but the Kiwis love them as well. What's the impact of the market now to our goal of trading in 6 months? If it doesn't pick up, I'm guessing the challenge won't stop after the 6 months. Challenge is going to stop at 6 months. It's a 6 month challenge. That's what the challenge is. The challenge is 6 months. 6 months. That is exactly what the challenge is. So the challenge will end in 6 months. However, if we have not reached our financial target, the challenge will end in 6 months, and that will be the official close of the challenge. However, we may continue to play to see how long it would take us to get up to our target. If it takes less than a month and a half to get up to our target, then technically, had we not had these shit 2 months, then we could have reached our target within the 6 months. Okay, but if it takes us another 6 months to reach our target, then it means that well, depending on how the market's actually going to go now. So yeah, we gotta wait and see. Kefa saying ASMR. There we go, guys. So we had a little red doji. It's a cutie doji, and now we kind of started off. We went up and down a bit, just a little bit. We're gonna see. We may potentially come back down and retest the bottom band, or we could potentially move on. As you guys can see, this is why you can see that it provides resistance. Support. And the upper line here provides resistance. You need quite a bit of steam to break through this resistance line of the Bollinger Band moving average, or indeed to break below them. You need quite a bit of steam. You can't just kind of like gently like, oh, tickle, 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 flow. No, you gotta move. You see, like you gotta crash through. You know, you can't just kind of look at all of these candles. They all crash through. Okay, they all crash through, crash up. All right, or even over here, crash up, back down. Okay, it's all sudden movements. You don't get tiny little movements where it's like the candles are just hovering on the line, like no one's seeing me, I'm gonna cross over, and step 1 foot, and out with the foot. Yes, I'm out. No, you don't find that with the candles. Not with a Bollinger Band. You can find those candles in lots of places, moving up ever so slightly, ever so slowly, but going over the Bollinger Band is usually quite a drastic affair. Big candle, big candle, big candle. Here, not so big, but still it's okay. Big candle. Here, try to come... Oh, that's not even crossing over. I was looking at the yellow line there. Big candle. Here, we were hovering on the line, so technically, but then when we finally did decide to break, big candle. Big candle. The greens are always smaller than the reds, okay? That's one pattern that I've noticed, is that the greens are always slightly smaller than... Here's the green, and here's the red. Okay, here's the green, here's the red, slightly smaller. This one here, we tried to break above. We closed above and instantly came back down again, so that there was a failed break. Kefa wants me to read, I go deep, tickle, tickle, tickle. Big candle, big candle. Yeah, you could probably make quite a few sound bites out of the crazy shit that I say. Again, you know, you can see here that we tried to break underneath tiny little candles. We didn't really make it. You know, it was kind of like a magnet, just sucked us back up to the other side. Let's go see how our current candles are doing. Zoop, zoop. There we go. That's more like it. So we had a nice green. We had a successful bounce off of there. We had a nice green. Now I'm actually technically expecting it to come up to here, touch around 785. I would say 7853. Doesn't always wick straight up, as you can see. Sometimes there's a bit of a gap between the wick and the actual line. Doesn't always get to the top. So I would say here I would put a target of 7853. Okay, and then potentially, oh, there we go, already up there. And then potentially we could bounce back down, or we could hover at this line and break through at some point in the near future. Let's see. Any more questions? Anything further? Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the stream. Guys on the server with me, hello. Has anyone been making any trades or anything interesting today?
Bought a bit of Litecoin, sold that, bought a bit more, then played a little bit with leverage, but not too much. So I'm just sticking around today.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Jeff, how have you been today?
Have taken it easy, not much really. Just
Yeah.
watching the charts a little and watching the coins, but nothing important.
Yeah, it's been a really difficult day, guys. I do have to say. That is why right now, guys, I'm talking about scalping. And we may potentially start to use scalping. Whether we scalp Bitcoin or we scalp a coin. You know, scalping doesn't just apply to Bitcoin. It can apply to any coin. And you can scalp it if it is generally following a pattern. So as an example, what coin is this? This is Lisk. You could potentially apply scalping to Lisk. BB, Bollinger Bands. Okay. And one thing, guys, that I do like to do with the Bollinger Bands is that I do like to come into it. Sorry, wrong button. I do like to come into it and I like to change the basis line to the cyan and potentially make it not too thick, just make sure that it shows up above everything else. And there you go. So as you can see here now, we can switch off the techie EMAs. As you can see here now, we had a long period of just coming underneath the band, okay, bouncing around in the bottom section here. Finally we broke above. Didn't last long above, broke back down, started to test the Bollinger Band, moving average again as resistance, broke above, and as I would expect, we're going to break down below it again, because it looks like Lisk never loves staying above the Bollinger Band unless it's had an absolutely insane momentum going up, and you can see that here, we were coming kind of bounced off of the wall here, came sideways. This is very common, guys, you will see this a lot in the Bollinger Band, where you bounce off of a wall and move sideways. And then we broke through up very hard, pierced the Bollinger Band quite hard, came back down, corrected, support, 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 broke underneath, resistance, resistance, resistance. Yeah, okay. So I would actually expect this one here, since its previous movements and its previous attempts, I would say this here could potentially come back and return underneath the Bollinger Band. This is 3 minute, oh, this is 15-minute chart. 3-minute chart tells a little bit of a different story. Let's zoom it up like that. There's not really that much volume actually on Lisk. That's why we're getting so much flat lines. Yeah, so we will go through and we will choose maybe a handful of coins, and we will play with them, I'll say. We're not going to go all in. We're not going to go all in. You know, we're going to put in maybe $100, couple of $100 just to play with, just to kind of twiddle our fingers with, get our I was going to say get our lips wet, but what do you do when you're kind of preparing your hands, chalking your hands, or whatever you want to say. And so yeah, we will do that, and we will play with it, and we will potentially do some good scalps, and then we can eat McDonald's every day, since we'll be making a few bucks, and then everyone can be happy again, and then we can prepare ourselves, you know, still get back into the mood, get back into the system of looking at charts and analyzing and choosing in and outs, etc., etc. Okay, so we definitely closed underneath here. This candle here looks like he wanted to go up, wanted to come back down, a little bit undecided. 38, 37, 36, 35, 30 seconds left on the 15-minute candle. Let's see now if we're just going to use this line here as a resistance line and continue to bang against the top of it, or if in fact we will come back down and bounce off of the bottom here. I don't see any more questions on the Discord and on the Tube. I don't see any more questions on the YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today, and we shall continue tomorrow with the next part of how we're going to be scalping and the Bollinger Band, and how we can use it in combination with other stuff to at least make some money while the market is going as it is. Thank you all for watching. I believe you're all subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you're not following on Twitter, follow on Twitter. If you're not on the Discord, what you doing? You need to get your ass on the Discord server. Link is in the video description. It's where we post all the updates. Lots of people chatting, talking, discussing ideas. Sorry I haven't been on there as much the last couple of days, but as you guys know, you know, I've got a good excuse for not doing my homework, sir. You know, can I please get an A+? Whatever. Childhood memories of not doing homework coming back. But yeah, guys, please go and read up about the Bollinger Band. You can also Google it. YouTube it, because there's quite a few good videos. Let me just YouTube and see if I can find one that is great. How to make a mumble rap. What the hell is a mumble rap? Bollinger Bands. Yeah, videos. Why don't I just go with that? I believe Data Dash has got a good video you guys can check out, and I'll try to check another one. I believe this is a good one. I'm going to post it anyway. You guys can check it out in it will be in under lessons and notes on the Discord server. You can go and check it out there, and then we will start to talk about how we can use it for scalping, and we will move ahead and we will make money regardless of what Bitcoin will do. What is the target for Bitcoin? A lot of people still saying 7.2 as a first target. Potentially after that we can reanalyze the situation and we can see whether we actually may go lower, or if that will be the final point of return. If we do go lower, a lot of people are saying 6k, and then we will analyze and see where we will go after that. And a very handful, select few people are saying we are going down to 3k or 2k or 1k or 0k. Personally, I'm a fan of 4k. It's a much higher quality, higher definition. You get better colors, and frankly, watching a movie in 4k is a lot better. But for Bitcoin, personally, I don't think 4k is happening. I think we're more likely to bounce off of 6k, and potentially even 7.2k, 7k. We may have a very good trend reversal over there. So don't sit around waiting for the bottom to come, because you may end up missing it. Just choose a good point, okay, and just follow it and just focus on it. Right now you can see what happened. We bounced off of here, we came back up. If you guys remember, what did I say? Sometimes I wish I could just rewind it. We said we'll come down, potentially we could break potentially here, or we'll bounce up, bounce off of the top, and then come back down and break. And right now it looks like Bitcoin is actually trying to at least break through or pierce, I believe it's called piercing, the lower Bollinger Band, okay, where it comes through like this. It doesn't look to have had too much steam so far, and it's already getting a little bit of a retracement. On the 15-minute though, we are directly square slap bang in the middle between the Bollinger Band moving average and the lower band of the Bollinger Band. Jeff is saying he's going. Take care, Jeff. I will catch you tomorrow. Yeah, we should talk tomorrow as well, Jeff. We haven't had a catch up in a while, and yeah, I miss your voice, man.
Yeah, same, man. We will talk tomorrow. Take care, guys.
Yeah. Take care, Jeff. And as well, guys, I'm going to be going. Grizz, Grizz, are you there, Grizz?
Yep.
Yep. We're going to go, guys. Me and Grizz, we're going to go off into the woods and blow some crazy shit up. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna sit here staring at Bitcoin for the next few hours. Yeah, that's it. Good night from me. A good night from Grizz, and we will catch you all in the morrow. Gotta get the music ready for you. Take care. Good night.